Ladies and gentlemen, we have huge stuff tonight. The speculation is ongoing. We've had two switches here throughout today. Earlier, Biden was ahead in terms of the betting to be the Democratic nominee. Kamala goes ahead, and now Biden has retaken the lead to be the nominee. You've got Biden coming out, his campaign emailing everyone, the Democratic Party emailing the top Democrats, media personnel saying, no, it is going to be Biden. Apparently, Hunter and Joe have told Obama to just F off, and they're bullheaded. They're ready to run. And you can see Hunter Biden watching Joe under his tutelage. Hunter seemed uneasy as he stared at his father, making sure he didn't have any slip-ups. Hunter is now joining the White House meetings. And yes, people think this is a joke. No, this is real. Hunter Biden is trying to get into politics. He's coaching his father, and his father right now, his right-hand man is Hunter. So Hunter's told Obama, no, it's not happening. Joe's staying in. Remember at Camp David when Joe was like, listen, it was embarrassing. I'm ready to go. Jill and Hunter pushed for it. They started screaming at the top of their lungs. The neighbors, people away from Camp David were like, what is that? They were screaming, saying and saying, please, Daddy, please stay in the race. And now the entire mood has changed around Biden. I don't think this confirms that Biden is staying, and I think Obama can bring out, and other Democrats could bring out the her tapes and possibly leak them to some Republican. They play those. I think it's going to be very bad for Biden. It's going to make it even worse, the her tapes. If you are the Republicans and you get your hands on those, save those for October. Bring out a nice October surprise with those, because those are terrible. I mean, you've got Robert Hur basically admitting that, listen, the guy is just mentally not there. I can't charge him with anything because I feel bad for him. He's like brain dead. So if I was the Republicans, you get your hands on those, save those. Wait for a week before the election and then boom, drop the bombshell, or maybe 2 weeks because of early voting. But the big stuff right now is Joe is saying, I'm staying in. The betting, it's all changed. Hunter Biden is the number one advisor. He wants a political future. Maybe he's going to run in 2028. Maybe he's the new young gun within the Democratic Party. What a massive switch this is. Breaking, you've got DC sources saying there is major panic. Everyone is basically repeating the same thing. There's huge panic within the DNC and the White House. They want Joe gone, but there's no easy option unless he bows out. And that's when the her tapes come into play. You get the horrible public perception if they leak those, and then Biden will basically be bullied to bow out. You would think after the debate he would leave, and I think he probably would have, but there's huge influence from Hunter and from Jill, and it's got him saying, no, I'm staying in. That's the White House's narrative right now. You look at the press conference, things like that, they're saying, no, we are staying in. He is the nominee. He is running for president, and you can hear Biden in quotes, I'm going to go to it, saying, I'm staying in. I'm the guy. Please stop this. Obama needs to F off. It's over. I'm the nominee. So Biden putting his foot down now under Hunter's tutelage. And honestly, when you look at Kamala versus Joe, I think Joe's probably a better choice. Honestly, neither of them are good choices. And you can see there's no easier option. That's why I had speculated they would have tried to go with a Michelle, a Gretchen Whitmer. Those are better options. But now Michelle Obama's confirmed, I'm not running. I'm not doing that. She's trying to form a black coalition to garner support for Kamala to possibly have a, woman thing. There's ideas, possibly VP Gretchen Whitmer, maybe two females. I don't think that would work very well. There was also Pete Buttigieg, possibly an option for Harris if she is the nominee and Biden steps down. Apparently Biden has to step down, and he does not want to do it. He's heavily influenced by Hunter and Jill, and they are not giving up power. So there's a major problem. And listen, it's not even like, the Bidens are holding the Democrats hostage. Is Kamala really a better choice? I really don't think so. They're going to say, well, she is because she's competent, she can talk. I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe they can play the whole first female president, but it's like, that's just a charade. I don't think women really like that, because if you look at Kamala's history, like the whole idea of it worked a lot better with Hillary because she was a career politician. Coming into 2016, she wins the primary. Kamala gets destroyed in 2020. She goes on as a token VP, and then she suddenly wants all this power without actually working for it. It looks a lot worse. So we'll see what happens. But that's the infighting right now. It's swung back. I did a video earlier, it had swung, and Biden wasn't even the favorite within his own party to be the nominee, even though he was the sitting president, which is extremely rare. And now it's swung back because of the recent news that's come out where Biden is saying, no, I'm the guy. That is what's happening right now. We've got a scoop. We have confirmation from inside sources that leftist GOTV groups are stopping all government while they are lining up the switch to Kamala. Campaign is working to rebrand and identify the likely VP nod and starting efforts to rebrand to the black community who have disdain for Biden. Biden performing very bad within the black community. Trump's at like 40% black male support right now. There's no way a Democrat can win with those numbers, and also independents crazy swinging towards Trump. The inner top Democrats, they look at the polls and they've got the internal stuff. They're saying, number one, I actually think that internal poll was leaked by Democrats on purpose to make Biden look bad. That's another thing. That came out yesterday and it was horrible for Biden. But they're seeing all of this and they're saying, you look at the black and minority support, it's not even close to there for Biden. So maybe you get a minority candidate elevated, because the other thing is, well, you can't leap her with a white man or really anyone because it would look horrible in terms of optics. So you have to elevate her, and you're basically fitting a square peg into a round hole. But you kind of have to do it considering you've got no other choice. So you've got bad choice A, bad choice B. Most of them want to go with bad choice B because at least they can use the whole idea of, empowering female, minority, all of that, even though a lot of people don't like her in general, her politics, all of that. She's just very annoying. But choice A is with Biden, it's just saying F off, it's not going to happen. I mean, Biden has turned into a total hard ass recently. We heard, what was it, 2 months ago? Well, remember, 4 months ago, he had the Easter meltdown. He started screaming at his advisors. His advisors like, listen, you're 95 years old, go to a nursing home, you're getting crushed. And he starts screaming at the top of his lungs saying, no, the polls aren't real. All the stuff comes out about Biden, his dogs going around biting all the Secret Service men, like 15 different Secret Service men. They have to stop the video and take it down because one of the Secret Service men gets hit and it draws blood, and the Secret Service goes up to Biden. They're like, listen, you need to train your dog. And Biden's like, basically, just fuck off. Leave me alone, do your job. So Biden is pissed off. He doesn't care anymore. And now he's got the support of his son and his wife. And so that's the way this is going. And there's this big battle right now within the Democratic Party. And you're going to get all this stuff. I mean, I could count, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people saying they're lining up, they're switching, they're getting rid of Joe. And then I've also seen the recent stuff come out that says, no, Joe Biden is the nominee. I do think they will switch Joe out, but Biden is putting up a last second fight. It just depends. How are they going to get him out? What does the switch look like? They have to tread carefully while doing it for optics, and considering Biden was so bad in the debate after they had the total false narrative that Biden was all there, he was actually running things. The American people now know that's totally fake. They lied the whole time, and it looks really bad. So it's like you're running from yourself, and now this is exactly what I said after the debate when the narrative started changing, and you've got CNN basically, fake crying, and MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, fake crying, like putting eye drops in before the break comes back, and then she's like, that Van Jones is doing it. They literally put eye drops in, and then they're back from the break, they're like already crying. It's like, when did you start crying? Why are you crying? It's a debate. They all cry. Remember, what about yesterday with the Supreme Court? They start crying. You go on TikTok, they're all crying over the Supreme Court ruling. Everything that doesn't go their way is the worst thing in the world. It's World War III. I will say, you talk to some of these top military experts, if the Democrats remain in power, we will be headed to World War III. And a lot of these young liberals want World War III. They've endorsed Ukraine. They love it. They want American troops in Ukraine. They want Ukraine in NATO. These kids need to wake up and understand World War III is not what you want. And now you've got the two-front devil horn war with China invading Taiwan, which is what we expect. They're going to go over the Taiwan Strait. They're not going to do the blockade. It's gray zone warfare. It's not going to work against Taiwan because Taiwan is not going to be they're not going to be propagandized like that. They know America's going to help them in the Pacific, and it's going to be an invasion off of the Taiwan Strait from the west to the east, directly into the capital of Taiwan by China. That's what they expect by 2028. We don't know exactly when, but the bullheadedness, and now these advisors are like, listen, this is crazy. Trump at least is a peacemaker. he's a guardian to the United States. He protects us with the wall and with peace with Russia. He was peaceful with Russia. They got so triggered by it, they started calling him a Russian agent. See how that works? And that's why we need Trump back, just even if it's just to make sure we don't go to World War III. And this doesn't have anything to do with Biden. This is more so the Democrats and the aggression and the simplistic thinking, where now suddenly these Democrats are all war strategists, like, oh my God, we can weaken Russia, one of our biggest adversaries, without putting a troop, in danger. It's so smart. Yeah, but now you're a proxy and Russia knows you're the number one enemy. You're fighting a proxy war. That's not going to end well. You think there's no problems with that? You're just going to alienate yourself more against Russia. They're fighting the stalemate war, and now Russia is closer to North Korea than they've ever been. China, we know their big alliance is coming, and they're going to try and get India as well, just based on where they are geographically. India, the amount of ground troops that they have, their population is absurd. New Delhi has 34 million people. New York City's at 8 million. It's ridiculous, the population centers in China and India. This is scary, and it's not just going to be nukes. It's going to be ground war, and then it might turn into nukes. That's the thing. And you've got all of these top advisors saying, World War III is coming if the Democrats stay in power, because there's no change in rhetoric. There's this bullheadedness. We need to help Ukraine no matter what, to the point where they want Ukraine in NATO. What are we doing? So this is all going on right now. It's not even Biden. This is inner Democrats. Biden's not doing anything at this point. And everybody knows it now after the debate, because he just can't function. Why, if you're a Democrat, and you're like a leader, you have any sort of power, why would you let Biden do anything? Like that almost seems like malpractice. And it is. And I think most people would agree, probably not a good idea to let Biden decide. But Biden still has this like hard ass energy. Now he's like pro-America. He's coming at these rallies screaming and just going crazy. And Jill and Hunter are advising him to do it. And Hunter's sitting there as he's giving speeches, and Hunter's like zoned in right on him. He's his coach. He's his number one. Hunter wants to be a VP. You can see it. He's the future of the Democratic Party, and it's the American dream, and it's so inspiring. And let's take a look at this. New Jersey, Republican internal. So it's a Trump poll. Trump up by 2 in New Jersey. My goodness. You bring everyone in. I'm surprised that Kennedy is taking votes. Well, there are 16% undecided. There's 16% undecided. Now, some of those will go to Kennedy and Stein and things like that, but I think 16% undecided, they probably mostly go to Biden, so he'd probably win that poll anyways, because that's a lot of undecided in a head-to-head. But still, I said in my Harris v. Trump matchup earlier that I thought Trump had a chance to win New Jersey. I think I predicted him to win New Jersey. He does have a shot. It just depends. What is the Democrats' spin? It's so unlikely they're going to have an October surprise on Trump. It just seems ridiculous. You do have Kamala suddenly choking. Yeah, so here it was. Well, Zero Hedge earlier tweeted out the update with Harris up by like 9 cents, which is basically like a percentage. So right now, Biden would have like 46% to be the nominee. He's been up. He's been going up recently. Maybe it's back down. I don't know. It changes like every hour. I mean, it changes every minute technically, but just in terms of actually leapfrogging each other with Biden and Harris, Newsom's been in third, for basically ever. I think Michelle can pretty much come off the board. She said she's not doing it. I would put Whitmer above Obama at this point. Hillary's been very quiet. Buttigieg has been talked about possibly along with Whitmer to be Kamala's VP if Kamala gets in over Biden. And Kamala really hasn't said a lot. She's, publicly she's saying, I support Biden. Of course, you have to say that until it actually happens, until the switch happens. So it does seem like Biden's, with his hardened stance and under the tutelage of Hunter, Biden wants to be the nominee. I think they're going to get him out with something, whether it's the Her tape, something else. Obama wants him gone. He's going to be gone. And like this whole thing where there's all this infighting and there's all these reports and Democrat Nancy Pelosi saying that he needs to take some type of cognitive test. There's just no way he's going to be able to fend this off. You got to feel, he is trying. He's trying to hold on, but now the establishment has turned on him. It seems very unlikely, but he is putting up a last fight here with his son. It's so patriotic, and Biden, this is so inspiring. Imagine if Biden is able to hold off the disgusting DNC war machine and remain in power, and then, of course, lose to Trump, but still, it'd be, I want to see this fight continue, honestly. Does anyone remember Kamala's 2020 presidential campaign and why, despite massive advantages? Well, yes, this is a good point. This is a really good point, and this is what I was saying. They gave her so much money before the 2020, campaign even kicked off. They wanted her. She was this spunky minority female, 2019, 2020, California, getting so much money, and she completely bombed. It wasn't even close. And then she got picked, not because of the campaign that she ran, but it was an optic thing. They needed a minority woman. They originally wanted Tulsi Gabbard, but Gabbard was like, no, I don't like you guys. You're going crazy. You've screwed me. It's like Kennedy Jr. getting screwed. Same thing happened to Tulsi. She embarrassed Kamala at the debate, and then she got screwed over. They wanted her because she's this badass female, but then she's like, no, I don't support you guys. Now I'm an independent. So they had to choose their second choice if they were going to pick Biden, and it was Kamala. That's how that whole thing happened. They originally wanted Gabbard, but they couldn't get her because she's like, no, now I'm an independent. You guys completely railroaded me during the primaries, and so that's what happened there. Biden's humiliating debate disaster was due to cold and jet lag. So this type of stuff, it's just... I mean, I guess this girl's in a no-win situation, but I mean, it's a lie. I mean, I guess it is what it is, but that's the clownacy of the Biden White House. You do have this. Oh, so this is another interesting scoop. In what is generally a slow news day and news weekend, the 4th of July, mainstream media networks have many of their key journalists canceling their holiday plans and have told them to be on standby for July 4th and July 5th. And we could get a fireworks 4th of July extravaganza where they do the fireworks, the grand finale. Biden goes up, says he's stepping down at around 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Obama's there, Hillary's there, they're all there. There's hints that could be happening, although based on what's been said with Biden, it's probably not going to happen on July 4th, possibly next week. That was also a report that I heard that Biden was going to be stepping down next week. I mean, there's just reports left and right. One says one thing, another says another thing. I do think in general, Biden's lost the establishment, so he's screwed. And there's going to be pressure, like they want him to step down. They don't want to invoke the 25th. It's a terrible look for their party. But to get him to step down, you have to put pressure on the situation. So whether that's digging something up or exposing Biden in some way that will then kind of nudge him, if you will, to step down, they're going to have to put pressure on it because right now Biden's not budging. Jill got right in Biden's ear. She took him off the debate stage. She was alone with him, and she starts the brainwashing and says, no, you're fine, before any of the other top Democrats could get to Biden and say, listen, buddy, that was a real bad performance. You've done great things. You're going to lose to Trump. Do you really want that to be your legacy? This is sad. You can barely talk. Time to step down. You're still fine. You beat Trump. Go out, go ahead to a retirement home. They couldn't do that because Jill had Biden, and she's like, you were so good, and she takes him off, and they go to Waffle House, and he's squatting outside, he's pooping again, and so that was what was really going on, and so this is huge stuff. They're saying July 4th, July 5th, normally there's nothing going on, it's a huge holiday, but now the journalists are on standby, and we will have to see, and we've also got China, this has been known. And this is kind of like Russia and Trump, but it's China and the Democrats. China is likely to assist the Democrats in stealing the 2024 election away from Trump and American voters, according to Brian Kennedy. I do think there is incentive because right now the dynamics are very interesting. It seems like the Democrats hate Russia and kind of like China, and the Republicans hate China and kind of like Russia. It is true that Trump was a hard ass on China. China does not like Trump at all. The tariffs were crazy. Trump, he knows China is trying to, be that number one. That we got very lucky with actually COVID, which was started in Wuhan, but they destroyed their own government, and it's gonna take them time to recover with their economy because they destroyed their economy with the zero COVID, and they're dealing with deflation now. But they're using gray zoning right now against Taiwan. They're doing military exercises around. Remember when Putin invaded Ukraine and said it was a military exercise? Well, China is doing military exercises surrounding all of Taiwan. That's where the idea of the whole blockade comes from. The experts say the blockade's not going to happen. It's not feasible. The Taiwan Strait, there's 2 monsoon seasons, and there's like a 2-month period where they can actually do a blockade. There's not enough time. because the strait it has really turbulent weather. The waves are bad. And the wind is really bad apparently as well. That's in between China, mainland China on the shore, and then Taiwan, obviously the small island to the east. You do also have Biden on a campaign call. So here it is. Let me say as clearly as I possibly can, as simply and straightforward as I can, I am running. No one's pushing me out. So he's clearly referencing the establishment, Obama, Pelosi, and all of them who have changed their narrative. We know Obama behind the scenes now wants Biden gone. And Biden's calling it out, saying, nobody will push me out. I'm not leaving. I'm in this race to the end, and we're going to win. So Biden, totally controlled by Hunter and Jill, comes out and says, I'm putting my foot down. I'm not leaving. There's going to have to be more pressure, you would think, applied to this situation from the establishment Democrats to get Biden out. Possibly the Hur tapes, possibly something else. I don't know. But you're going to need one more oomph because you would think the debate would be enough, but apparently it's not. They're trying to win. They're doing whatever they can. There's poll after poll now. This was all expected, but you're looking at even the mainstream polls that Real Clear Politics follows. I mean, I think the last 3 polls head-to-head, Trump v. Biden, Trump's been +6. So this is a catastrophic situation right now for Biden. And I'm sure when we start doing the swing states, it's going to be really bad, like 7 or 8 point leads in all the swing states. And that's why now the betting says like Trump's got a 65, 70% chance. Biden's down to like 12% chance because it's all split between all of them because nobody knows which Democrat's going to run. It is a complete mess. Oh yeah, this was a funny moment. The reporters are just begging Biden to come out and talk for like 5 minutes. They're like, we would invite the president to come here and tell us that, in referencing Biden, saying, just can we get him to come here for like 10 minutes? I mean, you would think they would do it. Apparently, Biden's doing an interview with Stephanopoulos on the 5th. So, in 2 days, the interviews are not good enough. It needs to be live. It needs to be off the cuff. The interviews, if they're they've got cuts, they've got commercials, it's not good enough. That's not going to be good enough. They can cut it up. They can answer, Biden can answer questions. They can cut. They can do the next question. The interview that's pre-recorded is not going to get Biden the voters. He needs to go out there and perform in front of the press for 30 minutes to an hour. A lot of the press, even though they're liberals now, they want Biden gone. They don't think he can win. They will grill him. Let's see how Biden does. He won't do it because he'd get crushed. So that's what's going on there. You got Pete Buttigieg, Kamala's shortlist, along with Gretchen Whitmer. No surprising there. And then you do have Obama worried that Biden will lose, has much harsher tone behind closed doors. That was previously said. So that is the update, the full thing. It's been a long day with Kamala coming up, being the favorite. Now Biden trying to come back saying, in no uncertain terms, I'm the guy, I'm running. I'm sick of dealing with this stuff from the establishment. They're not going to push me out. So there's going to have to be more that's done. They're going to have to elevate it and really pressure Biden to step down because they don't want the 25th Amendment. It's too much infighting. It looks terrible for their party 4 months before the election. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.